Welcome back to another episode of Prac Plays. Today we'll be doing our second terrain tutorial, where I'll show you how to base and flock some small figures. Specifically, we're going to cover how to apply tufts, make some dirt effects, and apply static grass. So here we have a Panzerschreck team from my Second World War German company. As you can see, they're already painted. I like to paint the base a dark green or a ground color before flocking, as there will always be some part of the base that shows through that this will help cover up. Getting started, the first step I take to basing is applying tufts. Tufts are small plants, bushes, or grasses that you can make or purchase. I like the Woodland Scenics and Army Painter products. Here I use Woodland Scenics glue to apply some tufts from the Army Painter on the base. The glue dries clear and holds really well. I'll next add some hay to the model. This step is very similar to the tufts. You just add a little bit of that glue to the base of the model, sprinkle some hay over the top, and then knock off any excess hay that happens to stick to it. Again, we're using products here that you can purchase from Woodland Scenics or the Army Painter. With the tufts applied, I want to add a patch of dried dirt to the model. The best method I have found for this is to use house spackling, the stuff you use to fill holes in the wall. You can apply this as is, or you can mix it with a bit of water. I prefer a little water, and I add a pinch of sand for a grittier appearance. After giving the spackling a little time to dry, I paint it with a brown contrast paint. My best tip for this step is to not wait until the spackling is fully dry, as the paint will soften the spackling and give it more of a dirt appearance if you paint it while it's still a little bit wet. The final step I use to base my figures is to apply static grass. To apply the static grass, you'll need an applicator, and I use a product called the Flocking Box. I think it does a good job of applying the static grass, but I've shocked myself a few times with it, so please be careful. I would also say that this applicator tends to make a mess. Now, I haven't used other applicators, so I don't know if they do the same thing. Anyway, the first step is to fill the applicator with static grass. For 20mm or 1/72 miniatures, I like to use a mixture of 2mm and 4mm static grass of different colors, which provides more of a field look. I find that if you only use 2mm grass, it gives like a very manicured lawn look, while using only 4mm grass provides kind of an overly rugged look. So together, I think they provide what I'm looking for here. After filling the applicator, you next apply glue to the base of your model. Here I use static tack from Woodland Scenics. I've tried using other glues before, but I find that glue that's purposely made for static grass works the best. After you apply the glue, you'll need to work a little bit quickly. So connect your wires as indicated in your applicator's instructions. Then turn it on and shake the static grass from above onto the figure. The static electricity created by the applicator should force the static grass to stand up. When you're done applying the static grass, there's going to be way too much of it on the figure. So disconnect the wires and make sure to turn off the applicator, which is how I've shocked myself one too many times by leaving it on. Once you've disconnected the wires, flip the model over and tap it from behind. This should cause the excess static grass to fall down. I also like to go around the sides and the base of the model to make sure that there's no grass that's been glued to that base, so wipe it off with your finger or an old brush. Once that's dry, you can spray some watered down glue onto the base to keep everything together. Or you can seal the model with a varnish under an airbrush, which is my preferred method. If you're not doing this, I highly recommend it because it'll keep your paint from chipping off over time, especially if these are figures that you're handling a lot in like a war game. And there you go. We now have a base with tufts, a dirt effect, and static grass, which I think gives it a really nice appearance. And moreover, it's a pretty quick process. I think I based my entire German army, which is about 200 figures, in maybe a few hours. For the longest time, I didn't really base my figures. I kind of just painted the bottoms green or brown and added a tuft or two. And I think that was a mistake. For the amount of time it takes to base your figures with the static grass, with the dirt effects, and other basing effects, you get a lot of value out of it. I think it adds a lot of character to your models and even gives your armies a narrative. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. What would you have done differently with these models? Do you have any basing tips for the channel? Or is there any terrain tutorial video that you would like to see in the future? Otherwise, see you in the next video.